Well, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Zwift Community Live broadcast of the OG Racing Series number 3. And this week we are featuring the Swedish Zwift Racers. Swedish Zwift Race Series has been going on with Zwift Community Live and in the community actually long before Zwift Community Live was getting going. The SZR team as well as their organizer, and I think the chief over there, Martin Jorkvik, has been a huge part of the Zwift community, making sure that the race community always had something to go to, and that was usually on a Wednesday at about this time, maybe about an hour prior to this, about noon on Wednesdays. Going back I think they've been around 6 years or so. We started broadcasting their stuff about 5 years ago on my personal channel. Dave, we were talking about it a little bit in pre-production. SCR, right alongside the Richmond course. It's kind of pretty cool synergy between the two of them because the Richmond course is one of the first race courses that they used for their series.
Yeah, absolutely, Nathan. I would say that Martin is the OS, the original Swede, for sure. If you want to talk about the OG aspect, and Richmond has always been a racer's course without any doubt. It's sort of a no frills. There's no dragons or dinosaurs, but it's got perfect the parkour for racing is exceptional. I will often go back, Nathan, and watch that 2015 World Championships. It was really one of the greatest days in American racing history. It's arguably one of the 3 greatest days of racing we've ever seen on this continent. So, and we get to relive that all the time. So Martin we've connected with him, Nathan, on a personal level as well. I still miss the Tutti Frutti candies that he sent us. There was a bunch of other ones, but those really stood out.
Ever, seriously, some of the best ever. There's actually a pretty good group of A's taking off right now. It's going to be, I believe, 1 lap only. So we're going to jump right down into the racing in just a moment. We do want to highlight real quickly, though, for everybody, the original broadcasts of the SCR. The furthest one back that we could find, I'm not positive this was the original, but the furthest one back that I could find within the video logs is Wednesday, January 11th, 2017. That is the race that this is actually based on. If we go through here, we can see Neil Duffy is in here, Offixstad. I'm seeing Phil Diner from Severe Coaching. Diner actually ended up working with us a little bit on some data stuff back in the day. So some of the names here are really, really old school names. We did start having a little bit of branding. It's still Vision TV on my personal channel, as you can see here in the background. We did have some overlays at that point. Let's go ahead and jump forward, though, real quickly to then what I believe is going to be 2 years ago, and that's going to be 2021. And already, Chloe Dygert, 2024, Natalia Franco, we're seeing Kristen Kolchinski here, Dave. And this is a race, I think, that came down to a little bit of an upset where Kolchinski kind of made her debut because she is not in a 2024 kit, Dave. What's interesting about this is this highlight actually is also a highlight of the discovery of one of the major talents within the world of Zwift racing.
This race, or really the block of races right in this time, was what got her on to 2024, actually. There's Charlotte Backus as well. Some great memories from these races. Nathan, what I love, when you went back to 2017, Zwift Community Live didn't even exist at that point. To credit Martin, Swedish Zwift Racers had a great logo already going. But yeah, how cool is this to take a look at? This was the finish. This was it. So this was a huge upset. Now, giving Chloe Dygert all due credit, world champion, multiple-time Olympic medalist, this was a moment, though, for esports history. That's really an interesting gem for you to find there. And Kristen Kolchinski's
I was not expecting to find that one, actually. I did the searches this morning and oh, yeah. And you know, at that moment, I remember Dygert being like, oh, what was this and what's going on and who are these people? And there was a little bit of frustration, but now looking forward at who Kolchinski ended up being amongst the esports worlds, things make a little bit more sense. The talent was there and it had to be honed.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, to be honest, when Nathan, talk about a rider coming out of the woodwork, is there a better example than Krista Kolchinski in 2020 and 2021? What happened there? And she's just now starting to take some Strava QOMs out in on the East Coast. So it's been really cool. That's one of the great Zwift stories. Chloe Dygert, another great story, the comeback that she's part of. And she's been using Zwift as a tool for a long time. And I'm a big, big fan. So, Nathan, that's a cool look back for sure. And I've always enjoyed my time getting to work with you. And some of the best races we've ever seen have been right here on this Richmond course. And I know you were saying the guys are going to be out there. We've got all the different categories racing, 16.4K. It's one loop. This might be the most well-known racing virtual loop on the planet. 2015 Worlds. This was Lizzie Dinan and Peter Sagan winning here in the road race back in September of 2015. But we're jumping right into our peloton. And Nathan, I tell you what, Jacek Karluk is the rider to watch in my book.
Yeah, watch out for Karluk. He's had some really good efforts. But off the front again, Dave, it's going to be McLean. McLean continues to be the rider who puts down massive power in these races so far. And we actually, interesting, the power-ups out here today. We've got Anvil, we've got Steamroller, and I have to double check on the third power-up. But Dave, interesting uses
Aero.
here. It's going to be Aero. So I think they're going to be using those through these cobbled sections, looking for perhaps another Steamroller or the Aero, perhaps, for the kick up and over the top of the Libby Hill. So looking toward to Libby Hill, I think a lot of action is going to be happening there. A lot of times, though, riders on this course, Dave, they tend to sit in a little bit on the flatter sections, looking forward to where things really kick off. But, Dave, I don't know if we're having a slower race like that today. We were up to 50 kilometers per hour just a moment ago.
I love how it is a Machiavellian chess match out here, Nathan. If you think about it, the cobbled climb, now Steamroller had to have won 2022 Power Up of the Year. In my mind, it did. Everyone got really down on the burrito, and I wasn't too surprised. That was
Everybody got really down on the burrito. Yes, it really did. There has been some changes to it, but I'm not sure that it's gotten anybody too much happier about the burrito.
Unsavable.
I'm not sure it is savable. I think you might be right about that.
But the Steamroller, Nathan, and at one point, I don't know if this. Oh, look at the action going on.
There's
right now.
there's an attack off the front.
Yeah,
actually, I didn't even realize there was a big attack off the front. And it's actually going to be the Dragons here. He kind of slipped off the front here. AXT for the Dragons. Scarmato there, also from OMG. In the house,
boy.
Cryogen has shown up. And Dave, take a look at all. Now, on the right-hand side, Dave, this is something that you're going to have to start picking up on that I'm not sure that you know about in-game, okay? On the right-hand side, do you notice something new in the rider nearby list? A little symbol that might be popping out for you?
Okay.
And some of the riders have it.
Is it let's see here. Is it next to their watts per kilogram?
No, it's on the other side, just above the time, for like if they have a gap or not. It's a little steering icon. So riders who currently have steering will have that icon next to their name.
So, as an example, Berg does have steering.
I can take a look at Berg here. I'll see if I can find Berg for you. Yeah, it's shuffling a little bit. Yes, Berg does have steering. Yes, Berg does have steering turned on. So, as
like
things are starting to develop, yeah, it is. As things develop here, though, Dave, it does change things a little bit because there will be the ability to put the pack in the gutter a little bit. Now, there isn't wind, but as you can see, you just saw Cryogen cut across into the pack. The rider up toward the front there. So things are changing a little bit here. If somebody wants to attack off the front, they can dive to one side of the course or to another side of the course and get people off of their wheel.
I was joking on when Eric Min put his post out about Zwift Play coming out. I was like, literally a game changer. And it is awesome, the impact that this is going to have. And the user experience is going to increase the joy in. I mean, not just racing, but man, there's so many elements of that. Nathan, I'm sure you've been loving yours as well as Gabby. Shout out to Gabby over there. But right now, speaking of Berg, we're looking at the race coming back together. McLean has just been relentless out here as far as the attacks go. This has been a fun series for us to pick up the racing again this summer. We've been hitting this hard on Wednesdays. Only 16K, so we're going to be down to 10K of racing pretty quickly, but the sting is in the tail on this Richmond course. There's no doubt about it. When you look at, it's 129 meters of climbing, and all of that comes really over the three infamous sectors, I guess is a good way to call it. Libby Hill is famous worldwide. I think, well, 23rd would be too, but then Governor is where the race is won or lost. And I think the same thing's going to happen out here today. There's another team, Nathan, Cryogen, that has a long and awesome history in the sport of virtual racing, and Vesio is the rider who's in that familiar white and blue jersey.
A little bit of a kick here coming forward, it looks like. OMG maybe making a move. Perhaps it's going to also be the Dragons. Be on the watch out for the Dragons. I did get a message from them in the last week after the broadcast. They said, gave me a full history. They came from another team and then reformed this team recently. They've got a lot of high aspirations, actually, and really looking forward to the Zwift Racing League. I could tell from the way that the team manager was talking about this is something that they take very seriously. They're in recruitment mode a little bit, it seemed like, actually. So really interesting to see what they're going to pull off out here today. And they said, we will be there on Wednesday. So the Dragons, they've shown up out here to win.
Right now, the little hairs on the back of the neck of the next team just went up as they felt a threat coming up from somewhere.
So they've got some boys over in Singapore right now, the next team. I mean, that's a big one.
We should touch on that. Yeah, esport Olympics going on. Extremely cool that's happening. There's McLean back to the front, but Nathan, they did a really good job with the athletes that they selected. They found some of the wonderful, we were talking about that last week briefly, but riders like Alice Lethbridge and Teppo Lorio, just a couple examples of the great personalities and the athletes that have really given back to esports. So some solid choices were made there. You won't be disappointed with the way Teppo or Alice race.
100%. Zach Neer's over there from Next Esports, just talking about them. Now, look, Dave, we've got some steamrollers being thrown down. I'm hearing in chat from Duncan McCree that the Anvil is massive, and I could see that on how sharp the downhills are coming up. I have a feeling that the Anvil is going to be a huge advantage, especially over the top of Libby Hill. And then if you are able to grab a steamroller or an Anvil power up or another Anvil on the downhill of the opposite side of 23rd Street, Dave, double Anvils, Libby, 23rd, massive speed.
In the modern racing world we live in now, Nathan, races are won on downhills as much as uphills. I mean, even in Tour de France, if you can't descend now, you're really in trouble. And that Anvil is a huge, I mean, double Anvils is good for a few seconds at a minimum if you play those power-ups right.
I love how you're saying this. It's so gamey, too. Double Anvil. Go for the double Anvil. It's like, or like some sort of, I don't know, like some sort of football move, like American football move where you pull some sort of like
the
audible
gate.
Yeah. Oh, the double Anvil. You just wait. Wait for the double Anvil.
Like the triple Lindy. Maybe.
Yes,
it's unbelievable if you can pull it off.
Like the triple. That's what I'm looking for right there. Now I'm focusing a lot on Vesio here because he's been a little bit more aggressive. Like him and McLean, I feel like have been kind of these guys to be watching out for. Now McLean
spark plugs, right?
Disappeared for a moment there. I'm wondering if McLean, perhaps, there he is. He just came back. I think he had a dropout for a second. He disappeared from our broadcast for just a moment, so hopefully his internet's going all good there. But back in with Vesio here, and I just wanted to highlight him. He's got a solid 5.0 watts per kilogram for 20 minutes. He doesn't have a sprint on him, though. He's got only a 9.1. So I have a feeling Vesio's going to be a rider to be watching out for to try and break away. We do have the Dragons with AXT again on the attack. Be interesting to see if he can hold on to this. This is when things do flatten out, though, Dave. So a good section to try and make this break happen.
Well, and what's really perfect here now, when you talk about that Dragons team, is Axt, the racer off the front, Nathan, is setting up his teammates. There's no question that this is a Dragon is helping out other Dragons right now, because Yasakarlik, his teammate, is going to be sitting back in this group. So this is well done, I must say. It's going to come back together here, I think, pretty quickly as we move into the finale of this race. But get ready. Here it comes. It's not a body blow. It's body blow after body blow after body blow, because now we see another rider going up and over the tuck. And
OTR on the rivet, Manalo here out of the USA.
Yeah. All right, boy, very active. That's what these races are all about. No question, Nathan, that nobody waits around in these events. And much like a towed criterium, right? These guys just keep hitting out.
Yeah. So Dave, I was talking to Dave. Dave knows I raced towed last night, so he wanted to bring that up. And yes, it definitely, at this point, feels a little bit more like a towed criterium. Find your way to the front. I think once they hit Libby Hill, there's going to be some questions about where the front is any longer. That's how I felt last night, trying to figure out what was even happening. But McFall here toward the front, Sunderland, ESRT. SZRT is another team we have not spoke about much for this one lap, half a lap of this one lap race out here today. And ESRT do have John Verm, but John Verm, we did not see him too involved last time. McLean, though, going again before Libby Hill. A lot of time this is a setup for failure if somebody goes too hard, though, at this point, because Libby is such an intense climb, Dave, for such a short amount of time, about 1 minute to 1:15 tops amongst these top men. And Dave, if you give this much energy this early prior to Libby Hill, you usually will find yourself off the back. Now, McLean, though, maybe smarten up and backing off just a tad.
Well, very well put, Nathan. And the amount of data that we've got out of this course backs up everything that you're saying, no doubt. It really is this crazy, when you look at what you've got here, your 1 minute power, and then backing that up less than a minute later. So it's these intervals from hell that you're doing out here on this world champ. I mean, there's a reason why this was such a popular world championship circuit that we're racing on out here. So these guys are about ready to get down to business as they go through this. I always thought this was such an interesting sector of the course when you see this, how they built that. It's like a warehouse that goes up and over the course, but not too long from now, they'll make that hard 180 and then begin the gradual ascent that takes them right to the bottom of Libby Hill. And this is that turn I'm talking about, Nathan. Really, the race moves into another gear. Feel it shifting. You can grind some gears and then hit it in, because now we're locked and loaded, folks, down to about 5K until this one is done and dusted. I'm still going with Verm just based on history. Nathan, he is a Zwift Grand Prix, ZRL. He's one of the top 10 riders, I would say. If you look back through the full body of the league, this Swedish rider has always been there, talking about John Verm.
Yeah, he's a top rider now. Whether or not he's got the kick still at this time of the year, we'll have to wait and see. To the front now, interesting enough, a little bit of a kick here from the rider on the Scott. It looks like that's going to be Berg, 6.8 watts per kilogram. He's going to be a little bit more of a lead out, perhaps. That's a very early Aero power up to be kicking before they even really hit the solid uphill gradients now at this point. 185 beats per minute. This may be a little bit more of a fade climb here coming from Berg. 188 now it's getting up into now, as we do have right up against the side of him. It's going to be 6225, a robot perhaps out on course. Just kidding there. Coming out of Great Britain. McFall, Vignal's there as well. And now a little bit of a kick here coming from back pedal. It's going to be Niall there from back pedal. Watch out for them. They're always a very strong riders from that team coming out of the UK. 9.4 watts per kilogram. McLean knows this is a threat. Kicks to 12 here. This is the last couple of sections that really make it or break it here. 12 watts per kilogram coming from the rider. Riding for Canada out here. McLean to the line.
Old school fury right here, right now on Libby Hill. McLean has been relentless. This is a big one if he can get the right power up. We talked about the double Anvil. Well, this is where that's going to start coming into play. It's this critical descent. So this is the Teta course, the front of the bike race right now. Let's see what kind of damage McLean has done. He certainly, Nathan, has been a spark plug, an animator out here. Scarmato is sitting just 1 second back. He's making some big watts right now, though, the OMG rider. So it's two Americans on the front, and then you can see Isle. He's the back pedal rider sitting in third. They're just 3-4, let's call 4 seconds back, Nathan, as these two come together, and you can see the gap that they've got. Back to you as they're down to 3K to go.
Scarmato to the front. Are the Anvils going to play a role? They most definitely are. The question is, does Scarmato and McLean have the Anvils? Scarmato putting him in the gutter. Dave, he goes to the right side of the course and doesn't even care. He's not working with McLean. Oh, man, talk about really giving the guy the elbow here around the corner. Just rude from Scarmato.
Rude. Cold-blooded, I'm saying, Nathan. This guy, oh, man, if he can pull this off, this will go down. But look at the group.
Oh, they come flying up out of here, Dave. There. Oh, Scarmato, talk about rude. Well, watch what happens when you try and stick it to this pack. Verm to the front, 11 watts per kilogram, and you might be right. ESRT has showed up with Verm and Sunderland at the most crucial moments today, Dave.
Nobody puts baby in a corner, is what John Verm just said. And let's see if he can pull a Sagan. They're not going to play. They are not going to play with this one. They know that the danger is there. So now we drop back down here, Nathan. It looks like we've still got a lot of riders in contention as we make our way down to the bottom of Governors, which is going to feel like it goes on forever. There's going to be some heavy legs.
Ooh,
you can see Anvils, Nathan.
Yeah, and we've got Way making his way to the front there. It's going to be WLC. Watch out for them. And this means that, Dave, whoever has those Anvils, it's a great advantage to reserve a little bit of energy, maybe get a little bit extra time on chases, but there's a large group here. An Anvil off the front with a solo rider, that's what I would want at this point. Otherwise, Dave, exactly, because otherwise, coming up with over the top of Governors, Dave, it's going to be about the Aero power-up still. Who got an Aero and not an Anvil is going to be a big question here. We saw a lot of Anvils. Scarmato brings it back. Scarmato gets back involved here after getting dropped on 23rd. It's all back together, Dave.
I did not expect that, Nathan. That is truly impressive. This guy's riding like a zombie. Now you think he's dead. He's not dead. He's back. This group is now, let's call it a baker's dozen of riders that are here. Now this is where it's deceptive. It looks like a slight incline. Well, this is where the lactic acid is pooling in your legs. You're going to see riders going up like a mushroom cloud in just a moment here as the real push is underway. We're down to close. It's just about 1K, but it is a long, rugged kilometer to the finish from here. Back to you, Nathan. We're going to sort our winner out of this group.
Who's making his way to the front? It looks like it's going to be Backpedal again. Backpedal, watch out for them. We saw a huge kick coming from him up to 12 watts per kilogram, but it doesn't look like it's going to be getting away just at this point. Niall's going to back on off. Between these riders, though, in this top group, I'm taking a look at what their 15 seconds are. Whoa, man. I'm seeing a lot of 16 watts per kilogram or more, Dave, for 15 seconds. John Verm, 16.7. Karlik there, also 16.6. Dan Malalo from that OTR team, but Niall here now making a little bit of a kick. Maybe doesn't want it to be a full gas, all-out kick to the line as Niall continues to press that pace.
Yeah, and this is where you start kind of checking your watch and the fuel gauge and tapping on it because you wonder, is this going to put some riders in trouble? I think the answer is absolutely. We'll make this turn, and this is where you really enter the finale now, Nathan. This is going to be about will. Who wants it more? What a battle. When you talk about those numbers, Nathan, I mean, they're unbelievable in the stratosphere, but these guys are trying to get out in front of it, and they're doing a tremendous job. We might have a 3-rider sprint. They're going to start running out of real estate in Richmond very, very quickly as we're going to bring this one to the line, Nathan, and they are coming in hot right now.
Buster right on the wheel here. He's got an Aero power up. He's going to go. Buster's making a move here. Is he going to be able to hold on to it? Karlik's coming fast, but it's going to be Way right on the wheel, but Buster's trying to hold on. Is he going to be able to do it? It's right to the line. Buster, Way. No, it's going to be, who's this? To the front, it's going to be McKeans. McKeans makes it happen. Kicks to the line. Who is McKeans is my question. What a kick. In the green kit, that's a level 25 kit. Going old school, coming out of Belgium.
Everything about that was old school. Nathan, what a finish from McCain's with the old school throwback.
Level 27, Sebastian
noted.
McKeans, this guy, he's a newer one to this group. Newer one to this world here. Interesting there, coming from McKeans. Solid.
What do you want to bet? Do you have? I don't know if we had a team on him, but the Dragons are probably putting a tender together right now to offer him because that's the kind of rider that they need.
Jumping real quickly on over to the B category, Dave. They're just starting the Governor Street climb. We'll get back into some replays. I want to see what Sebastian did there and how he played that one out. But before we do, I do want to make sure we're doing good on our promise to cover across more of the categories today. So let's go ahead and jump right on in here with, it looks like, as we move our way forward, this is going to be WLC now making another move in this B category, and that is going to be Schultz, actually, for Wahoo Lacole, making a move, and he might be walking away with this one. He's got a couple of seconds.
Jerry. Yeah, he's a Dutch rider that we've got here. This is dangerous. Boy, Nathan, first blush, I'm saying he's gone.
I think he
actually.
Is. Well, it's 4 seconds. It's 4 seconds. He's got it. I think he can do it.
Close. Yeah,
they're not responding,
I do think he's going to do it.
They're not responding.
They would need to be charging it now, and they're not quite there. There you go. The throttle's going to open up. You can see the Zwift play coming into effect as riders are jumping all over the place like Mexican jumping beans, but this man stays on the gas.
That's right? The add-on. That's the add-on. I got my Mexican jumping beans. Get your Mexican jumping beans, $100 over at Zwift Play. Zwift.com/play.
Get a gold medal out too, because this guy just earned it. Great job, Jerry.
Yeah,
that's
Jerry
Schultz.
Totally makes it happen. Walks away with this one. Nice job to him. JJ is going to be coming on in for second, right across the line there. Nice job to him as well. Let's see if we can head on over to the C category. Is that what this is going to be? Go ahead though.
Oh, I was going to say a Netherlander and a Belgian so far. Let's see what we've got coming out of this one now. As it's a small group there. Let's see, Nathan. They should be just about to hit.
Gonna hit Governors right about
over
now.
20. Right.
Yep, just over 23rd. Downhill. OTR looks like Coalition. We see Kirchner Cycling there as well. Dirt is involved. ZRG off the back by 8 seconds. 8-second chase now, Dave. It looks like behind. They're just in the distance. That's a pretty big gap to close with Governors hitting them right now.
Yeah, and I mean, there's been a little bit of that separating the wheat from the chaff too, Nathan, where if this group is together and they even remotely work together, there should be, 95% chance your winner comes out of this front group.
Yeah, 100%, unless there's some sort of monster in that back group that can just put the diesel on and just happen to get dropped on the 23rd. But the dirt rider
and they
here
go
to the
goblin
front.
Goblin mode would be required.
There's a difference between that and the zombies, right? Zombies and goblins just have lots of power. The zombies die and come back. Is that how it works?
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
You're following along quite well.
I got it. I think I figured this one out.
You've only had about 5 years of this now. That's not even 5 years, more like 3 years of enjoyable commentary together. Hey, Tugas. Nice to see Portugal has been a nation that's really stepped up in their esports game. Represented Cole, the American in this group. The German, Verasik, is there for Kirkmeyer. Congratulations. Oh, and he's kind of rolling off the front, just kind of slowly pushing the accelerator down, Nathan. But you can feel the pressure tightening around, the noose tightening around their throats back there.
Yeah, it looks like Versick here. Not going to be able to pull off, though, I think, what we just saw in the B category, perhaps from Schultz, as the man out of German. Yeah, OTR, it looks like, is holding Canadian. Strong. Whoa, 12 watts per kilogram from Cole. Cole gives it a little bit of a kick over the top here real quickly here, making sure he does not get involved. He's making sure he stays involved. Miguel, two gas is going. Here goes Portugal. Goblin mode.
Two guys has got Miguel here, but wow, this race has just hit another level as they're into the finale. These are our C's that you're enjoying now. We have all the different categories racing. It's been so much fun on Wednesdays, and thanks for joining us. So it looks like we got ourselves a solid 24 and some change minute effort out here to take the win from P. Miguel.
Yeah, it looks like this is going to be happening for two guys. Two guys are going to walk away with this one. 183 beats per minute. Now slowing down, though, Dave. Hey, he's got to hold on to this. Only 3 seconds. Cole's coming on strong, but it's going to be a pack sprint behind him. I think he's got this one in the bag. Nice job to him there. Cole, a little bit of a kick to the line between him and OTR, but OTR is just going to get it as H. Cole cannot make it happen. Nice one. Well, Dave, let's see where the D's are at, and then we'll be good. Where's Bar going?
There.
Bar, like, just turned around or something.
Script.
I don't know what he's doing there.
Go get some I can't even remember what the featured food of Richmond was, but go get some crab cakes, maybe.
Yeah, we'll jump
Pizza.
in quickly here. I think this race has almost been decided. Might be a two-up man sprint here if MP from Italy can get back on
Never
Bulka's
know.
wheel. We'll see.
You can fade on governors. You really can. Making up 5 seconds is possible. It's not likely. Living in a world of manifesting your dreams. Never give up the chase.
100%. As we take a look here, this is going to be Bulka, Matthias Bulka, riding for Foudre Carmeliet. Matthias Bulka, good to see him out here. I like this guy. Mm-hmm. Seriously, look at that out. Like, this is this is something. This is definitely something. We need to.
I would say so. And like in the racing world that we love so much, this is a great kit, easy to pick out. With the bike and the kit, you've got yourself a Bulka on the front right now.
Level 44 Zwifter. He's got steering too.
Polish. Yeah, he's in it. He's in it to
who
win
is
it.
this guy in the D category? Smashing it.
Well, I'll tell you who he is. He's my hero. This guy, Nathan. Foudre is a cool team. This is a D race with a lot of panache as he hits the bottom.
Seriously, I'm like really impressed with this guy that I just showed up in this D race and he's got this kick going on. I mean, this is fashionista all day long. Now he's got a chaser though with MP who's similar.
And actually,
look at this guy.
Yeah. He's got his game together too.
They're in the same kit. Are they teammates?
On his
like
Tron bike
top secret teammates out here?
Well, he's closing the gap, even though, when you get on the steeper part of the climb, obviously you get closer, but the time doesn't change, just the distance. But right now, actually, and that's exactly what we've got here, even though it looks like he's closer, he is physically closer, but the road's so steep here. Well, Governors is not the steepest, but it really never backs off. You go over a little bit of a hump.
Dave, it's the fact that it comes after the other two and you're trying to recover still. And then it's
your
just
lactic
kind of
load
this
is
like,
high.
Yeah. And then the finish line is there and it's a false flat afterwards. So like you kick it really hard over and then you want to rest so badly. And all it's telling you is if somebody's pushing, you have to, it just is a climb and a finish, or at least a flat if it's not the finish yet, that forces you to your absolute beyond the limit. It just forces you there.
It has every ingredient necessary for pain. That's for sure. I mean, and you even look like, remember, I was watching the video last night, but Sagan clips out of his own pedal when he's solo with about 6-7 seconds in the last 500 meters.
Yeah, there's a little heel flick in there, isn't there?
Yeah, it was a weird little moment there, but it showed you how, man, that was a real, your heart jumped into your throat. Because you realized he could lose it all at that point because that group was setting up for a sprint per second behind him. This one's done and dusted, though. Bulka's got it. Great ride today as he hangs on. A bit of a challenge coming from MP. But the
MP
Italian
rides for Team Italy, actually, it looks like. I'm taking a look here.
MP?
Yeah, one of the top, and then Matthias for Foudre. But they are in similar kits. I have a feeling they're friends or something. I mean, if they're riding these exact same kits.
Seems like, it seems organized. Bradley was up there today. It's been a lot of fun watching.
Bar behind there, also out of Scotland. Yeah, coming on. Nielsen's there. So we'll get some results here as they finish up. We'll go through the A's, B's, and C's in just a moment. We do have a couple of replays for you as well. But Bulka, nice job out on Richmond, finishing it up in 28, almost flat, a little bit over, but great to see him taking this down in the Z Racing OG Series out here in Richmond. With a shout out back to the SZR team and what they originally had organized out here.
Yeah, thanks for doing that, Nathan. The SZR, and we were talking about Martin. Martin, we love you. Thanks so much for everything you do in this in the community. And Martin is another. He's been around, Nathan, and he's not slowing down at all. So big thank you to all of our Swedish friends, all our Scandinavian friends, for that matter, for how much they've brought to the world of Zwift and Zwift racing and Zwift community.
Looks like people are starting to cool down out on course. Great.
I'm cooling down.
I'm cool. That was Dave. This course always gets the heart rate going. At the end there, you feel like it's this like ramp up, boom, 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 one after another. 3 kicks and a finish line always really, really great. As we get the replays going here in just a moment, I want to remind everybody we do have the women's series starting up next week on Tuesday. So women's series number 3, it's going to be a lot of fun, starting on June 27th every Tuesday. I believe it's going to be 6 races. They're just finishing up their last race, I believe, this week for
that's next week.
Yeah,
all
next
right.
week.
We're there.
Week. We are going to be there, and it looks like it's been, I think Luis Gamst won the last series. It's going to be interesting. I think Gabriella's going to take place in this. We're going to start getting some of the bigger names. I would see maybe perhaps if we can get Kristen Kolchinski out of the in real life and maybe a little bit more virtual recent up and coming here. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens, though. Who's going to all show up? But I'm excited that we're going to be broadcasting that back in with the ladies. So let's take a quick look at what went down today, though, between these riders, as we did have Power Up. He's going to go. Buster's making a move. Nathan in the background there. Sorry about that.
I like it.
Yeah, but that's going to be Buster. Nice kick from the Dragons. I think he's riding for the Dragons, but then it was going to be this more of a dark horse, unfamiliar with this rider here coming out of Belgium, but Keynes taking it down to the line with 2 Dragons right behind him. It's going to be Karlik and Buster from the Danish rider from Denmark.
He really timed that perfectly, talking about the Belgian that was still on our scene in the 25, the level kit there. So that's a rider to watch. We noted that with a star next to that name, as McKean's is certainly going to be a fun one. It's pretty normal this time of year that we find riders, as we've used that term, coming out of the woodwork. I don't know if I'd say that as much as there's quality riders that will always be finding the Zwift platform. So that was our A race as we go back, and you can see how the steering Zwift play is going to be a huge part of these finishes and just the racing in general. It's going to be a must-have.
Yeah, really.
Have they sold out of them?
I don't know. That's a good question. But yeah, you're right, Dave. I mean, think about that. If you can't jump on a wheel, and also the steering in the last 100 or so meters, I mean, and going to the left, going to the right, and even being able to weave while you're sprinting, I mean, that's going to be really interesting.
Well, and Nathan, right, all of those things with that air quotes Machiavellian chess match, but knowing what wheel to be on and being able to choose that wheel adds an immense amount of tactic and the ability to execute what your mind is thinking through Zwift play into the game. The Zwift craft, you're going to have to level up. Everybody's going to have to level up, but you can't show up in the forest looking to cut down a tree without an axe, and you're going to need an axe, and that's Zwift play here.
JJ, as you can see here, coming across the line in second place. That is the B category. We did see Schultz just a moment ago in the replay. And for third, it's
I feel like we got a new finish truss there.
Yeah, they changed up for the Z Racing. Z Racing gets that cool little addition there. Yeah, so that was the B and the C category we just jumped in with a moment ago. But this C category, they had a good sprint to the line as well. As it was going to be Miguel, who actually half a K to go attack up over the top there. Cole's trying to close it down, as you can see, with that last.
Cole wins the sprint for second, I believe.
Does he, or is it the OTR? Or was it
when was the last time?
I think OTR got it. Yeah, go ahead.
If you could replay that, you can see exactly what we're talking about here with Zwift play. If you go to about 100 meters to go, watch.
Oh, yeah, look behind there.
That's so cool. So went out in the wind a little too early, and that's going to be so fun to watch how the riders learn how to use this to their benefit in races. And every now and then things will backfire on you as well.
I think it backfired a little bit there
changes,
for Cole. That was interesting.
Zwift.
Watch him go left. Off in the background there, if you don't know what we're talking about. You can see him go left. Well, our left, then swing back to our right and look to come around. It's like he's trying to find a way around him. I love it.
So, and I think like, not to be critical, but the play there was to stay on that wheel, not, the misplay, I should say, was trying to come around on the racers, well, on their side, on the right
It
hand
might have
side.
been
He
for
should have
show
waited.
there. It might have just been for show. Who knows?
Or
It might
figuring
have
out
been
how the Swift play thing
how it
works, right,
yeah.
Nathan?
Yeah.
Like a lot of these,
works. That's a good point.
and how to maximize its benefits for you. That's what racing is all about. We talk about incremental gains. This is not incremental. Well, I guess everything's incremental. This is a huge increment that we're talking about here.
It's not
with
incremental.
Swift.
Well, it's maybe it is incremental.
Well, everything would have to be, right?
Yeah, everything has to be. Everything. I like that.
What increment are we talking about? That's the story. Well, these have been fun, and now we're not even gonna have to wait till another full week. I'll see you on Tuesday, Nathan.
Yep, Tuesday. Tuesday is what we're going to be doing. Let's go ahead and take a quick look, though, here at the actual results, and then we'll be looking forward to the wrap tomorrow and next Tuesday. But in the A category, actually, let's go ahead right on over to the D's to start with, if I can click them. It looks like we're not, for some reason, unable to. Oh, there we go. Let's go ahead and head on through the D's first.
All right, thanks, Nathan. M. Bulka for Food Ray taking the win with Michele P. in second for silver, and then bronze going to Stevie Barr. Fourth place for Michael Nielsen. Fifth is Ruben Garcia Matas. Sixth is Andres Linares Asiano. Seventh to Alan Bradley. Eighth to Kath Chambers. Ninth for Mouse C. And then 10th, Anders Waltbrand, rounding out our D's top 10 here today in Richmond.
And for our C category, it was Pedro Miguel, two guys that you saw in the replay there just a moment ago, breaking way up over the top of Governor Street, taking the win. Jonathan Edmondson from OTR, 1.585 seconds back, with Harrison Cole trying to sprint him at the line, unable to overtake him, but does get the bronze. It's going to be Chris Naynard for Coalition for fourth, Stephen Versick Casey in fifth. It's going to be 3 Dixon for the Dirt Team, coming through for sixth place, Ruben Loken in seventh, Tim Heisler Chi in for eighth. It's going to be Stephen Misfelt for ZRG in ninth place, and Jack Matthews coming through for 10th. That's the C category today in OG Racing Stage number 3.
All right, let's take a look at the B's then. And we got a chance to watch the WLC superstar, Jerry Schultz, taking the gold medal today. JJ for Evo for silver, and Dave Konisek for bronze today for Zedson R. Colin B, dirt rider in fourth. Kelvin van der Doel, fifth place for Kelvin. It's Kemmer Rodri for sixth place. Lasse Hoyes Christensen for DZR in seventh. And Julian DeMeo. He's one of the vegan riders with Chit NZ. Thomas Eriksson in ninth, and then Mark Ronka, another Food Ray rider, getting up there for the top 10 in our really competitive B race today.
And in the A category, it was the dark horse, unknown to this point for us here. It's going to be Sebastian McKeans. He's coming up. He's up in the level 20s now. Watch out and see if he's going to be involved in the ZRL at all this coming season. It's going to be Mads Buster right behind them for second place there in a sprint finish to the line. Jacek Karlik just timing it off. It looked like just a moment, or perhaps not quite enough power to take on Sebastian as he came across the line for third. It's going to be Martin Collins there for fourth. It's going to be Stuart Wade, WLC, some early attacks coming into that sprint, but unable to hold on. Ends up in fifth. Pierre fell in for sixth place. It's going to be Niall from the back pedal. He had a lot of attacks early on. Oh, a solid 5.8 watts per kilogram for the duration of the race for the back pedal rider. It's going to be Alan 6225. I guess his name is Alan, not the robot we're looking for. And it's going to be Martin Sunderland for ESRT and John Scarmato for OMG. Early attacks from both Sunderland and Jean Verme. Unable to hold on for a top 10, though, for Verme, as Sunderland does pull something off for ESRT. And Scarmato, after being rude, at least gets to the top 10. That is the results out there today for the OG Racing. Dave, that was a lot of fun. And I can't get, the SZR squad, big shout out to them and helping us to get this all put together alongside of Zwift. And the way I'm saying that is they've helped us put this all together, as in this whole month is a shout out to the community, and this racing would not exist in the way that it does without each and every one of the community organizations that are out there, especially the old school ones that stuck with it. You saw 5 years, at least, maybe 6 years of broadcasts around the SZR team and what they have put together out here. And a shout out back to Richmond, one of the OG original courses that we did a lot of the high-end racing on. It reminds me of going all the way back to the GCN race when Richmond was first announced and we didn't have pens and we raced out on Richmond on GCN live. I mean, very similar to what we saw also with the SZR team and what they put on with the series there.
Yeah, a lot of great memories, Nathan, and a lot to look forward to as well.
100%.
And it's really cool that the Swedish Swifters are still so valid in this world as well. So nice memories. Thanks, man.
Yeah, 100%. Well, tomorrow, everybody, of course, it's going to be the wrap. We're going to be talking to a Twitch streamer, General Elost, actually, who put on a K4K charity event that has raised a ton of money. He's been doing it specifically with Zwift and streaming. I think they do a full week or more of streaming all the way through non-stop, where they're hosting channels back to back to back to back to raise money for the K4K charity event. Actually, really cool. I believe it's to fight childhood cancers. They've been a great job. It's kind of a quieter thing because with the Twitch community, I think amongst the larger Zwift world, but within the Twitch community of Zwifters, it's definitely a major event that's been happening every year, and he is the man behind it. So it's gonna be really cool to be talking to him tomorrow with Anna. Also, obviously, Women's Series and the last OG Racing Series race next week. You can find all the information on all of this over on ZwiftCommunityLive.com, and go ahead and follow us on all the socials. Hit those follow buttons, comment, like. It helps us out a ton. And we'll see you for the wrap tomorrow. Dave, it was a lot of fun. But for me and Dave, as always, we'll see you soon, and ride on.